Good evening, all of you beautiful people. So surreal to be here in a room with people again. I know every speaker says that lately. It's really boring, and hello to all of you at home on our live stream. We're combining two communities here today. Great to see old friends and a few new faces. Welcome once again to Full Moon Sangha. It's been 16 months or so since we've been here. And I appreciate the way so many of you and I have been keeping in touch through other webinars and other things. And boy, we all did what we can. But together tonight, with your gracious and generous support, we are able to get this gathering back on its feet. Look, we're here just for one reason. We're here because we know that meditation contributes to our wellness, and as it contributes to our wellness, it ripples out and contributes to the wellness of our families, our partnerships, our businesses, our neighborhoods, and the entire world. It really is that transformative. And if you're new to meditation, stick around and see if everything I just said is true. I think you'll find that it is remarkable. And it's doubly remarkable because it's so simple. I'm not going to say anything fancy tonight. There isn't some soaring oratory that's going to take you there. I'm going to scale back the number of things that I say because I want this to be a different kind of meeting than the kind I normally have the opportunity to facilitate as a speaker and as a teacher of various subjects and sundry topics. Here we're gathered to do something, and that is to meditate together. And I know there are people in this room and at home and all over the world in various places on their journey through meditation. Some of you, maybe dabbled with it a little bit back in the 70s and stopped. Some of you just tried it recently and were intrigued and wanted to go a little further. Some of you are committed meditators already with a fairly consistent practice. All of those kinds of people are in the right place. This is a simple session ideal for brand new beginners, and I hope that it's also fruitful and edifying for those of you who are consistent and long-time meditators. So our hour together, our Full Moon Sangha, and again, Sangha is just a word I'm borrowing from the great tradition of Buddhism. It's a Sanskrit word that just means community. And meditating together is different than meditating at home with your earbuds in on Insight Timer, which is also great. I use that a lot. A lot of you use my meditations on Insight Timer. But it's just different to do it in a live setting with people. And for Buddha, there were three pillars of his tradition: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is the one who is teaching. The Dharma are the methods and the practices and the teachings. And the Sangha is the community. And 4 years ago or so, after many decades of teaching, people kept coming to me and saying, do you lead meditations? Do you lead guided meditations? And no, the answer was no. And then I thought, well, maybe I should start. And it's really that simple. And so this community is not in a particular lineage or a particular style of meditation. I just have had a long meditation practice myself. I've worked with a lot of different teachers, as many of you have. And I just pulled little bits and pieces together and kind of fashioned something that kind of sort of works. It's not the only way to meditate. And as we get into the process tonight, I highly recommend that you ignore anything that I say that doesn't fit how you want to do it. So there's a curious dialectic or paradox between surrender, willing to take directions, and autonomy, freedom. And I want you to find that balance, just like you would in a yoga class. I can never do the pose just like the yoga teacher's doing it, because she's been doing that for 30 years, and I just got here an hour ago. So yoga teachers always say, adapt to what your body can do. And I'm going to say the same thing here. If I'm asking you to do something in the guided process that you'd rather not do, like for example, close your eyes. We'll get to a point soon when we start here in a few minutes where I will invite you to close your eyes. And for many of us, that's a comfortable thing to do, but I know for some of us it's not. Feel free to leave them open. That's how they do it in Zen meditation. They pick a spot on the floor or on the chair in front of them, kind of a 45-degree angle, just a soft focus, and just do it like that. For me, it works better if I close my eyes, and for many of you, it will. So feel free to adapt anything I suggest. So this hour is broken into three sections. The first section, I'll say a few words in a moment. Second section, we're going to work together. I'll sit down to move into a deeper state of relaxation, because we all had a busy day and a busy 16 months, and we need to let some of that leach out and soften. And that's going to make the third segment, the meditation segment, work better. Because if we just went into meditation right now, my mind is just all racing for my to-do list today. My heart's pounding because I just put on a mic and got on stage. So there's a lot of things we all can do to slow it down. And I'll help you with that. And then thirdly, in the last 20 minutes of our session, we'll go into a meditation. I'll guide you into that, including 10 minutes or so of absolute silence. And I'll bring us out of the silence with some more ringing of the gongs into that beautiful house crystal bowl here, or that little metal bowl that I brought from home. All right, speaking of the bowl, let's let some of these tones help us shift a little bit further in. I brought a book with me tonight because I want to share with you a couple of passages from one of my favorite meditation teachers from about 800 years ago, a Japanese Zen master called Dogen. And Dogen left behind for us some very concise, down-to-earth, and clear language about what meditation is and is not. And I thought it would be a nice, kind of jumping off point for us tonight, because meditation is particularly intimidating for newcomers especially. It seems confusing and empty and full at the same time. I think beginning meditators make a very common mistake. They bring too many expectations into their meditation. We think that meditation is going to be dazzling and insightful and problem-solving and beautiful, and we'll see God and all will be revealed. And boy, that's a lot to bring into your first date. So maybe it would be better to kind of think of meditation as, this is how I put it the other day, it's more like staring into an empty shoebox and wondering, why am I staring into this empty shoebox? You sort of start to doubt yourself, like, this is crazy. But that's when it starts to get good. So there's a really kind of startling simplicity about meditation that I kind of want to enjoy with you tonight. And Dogen is really beautiful on that point. So here's what Dogen shares with us from many, many centuries ago. He says, truth is perfect and complete in itself. It is not something newly discovered. It has always existed. Truth is not far away. It is nearer than near. There is no need to attain it, since not one of your steps leads away from it. Don't follow the advice of others. Rather, learn to listen to the voice within yourself. Your body and mind will become one, and you will realize the unity of all things. Even the slightest movement of your conceptual thought will prevent you from entering the palace of wisdom. He goes on, your search among books, sifting and shuffling through other people's words, may lead you to the depths of knowledge, but it cannot help you see the reflection of your true self. Zen Buddhists are always talking about your true self, your original self. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will switch the language. He'll call it the inner witness. And we're going to work more on that a little bit later. So listen for Dogen using that image again, the true self. He says, when you have thrown away all your conceptions, all your concepts of mind and body, the original person will appear in their fullness. Reminds me of what Meister Eckhart said in his Roman Catholic Dominican friar context. He said that we do not find God by a process of addition, but by a process of subtraction, of letting things fall away, letting hindrances dissolve and slough off until our authentic self starts to emerge like a sculpture up out of a bath of water. Before you begin meditation, take several slow, deep breaths. We'll do that in a minute. Hold your body erect, allowing your breathing to become normal again. Many thoughts will crowd into your mind. Don't dwell on thoughts of good or bad. Don't desire to attain enlightenment. Let your thoughts come and go without getting involved in them or trying to suppress them. Think the unthinkable. In other words, think no thinking. That's when you throw the book down in disgust and say, I don't know what he's talking about. Think no thinking. I should have skipped that part. But just a little bit more, because I love how he keeps talking about how don't go into meditation with any goals. Don't think, I'm going to get enlightened and then I'm going to feel better. This is not a drug that we are taking. Something else is afoot here. Here's how he puts it. Meditation is not a way to enlightenment, nor is it a method of achieving anything at all. It is peace and blessedness itself. It is the actualization of wisdom, the ultimate truth of the oneness of all things. In your meditation, you yourself are the mirror reflecting the solution of your problems. The human mind has absolute freedom within its true nature. You can attain this freedom intuitively. Don't work toward freedom, but allow the work itself to be freedom. And then he says here, just a few more bits here. He says, when you want to rest, when you want to stop, move your body slowly. Yeah, we'll do that too later. Quietly stand up. Practice this meditation in the morning or in the evening or any leisure time during the day. You will soon realize that your mental burdens are dropping away one by one, that you are gaining an intuitive power previously undreamed of. Wait a minute, he just said a minute ago, don't meditate for any particular outcomes or results. And then he just said, but you're going to get some really bitchin' results. That's the paradoxes at work here. When you drag the ineffable into the field of ordinary discursive knowledge, it always shatters into paradox. And both things are true. Don't meditate for any ulterior motives. There will be transformation because of meditation. You will soon realize that your mental burdens are dropping away one by one, and that you are gaining an intuitive power previously undreamed of. And then he ends with a little bit of a scold because he is a Zen master and they can be a little scoldy. He says, there have been thousands upon thousands. I'm going to update the numbers here since this was 900 years ago. There have been millions upon millions of people who have practiced meditation and obtained its fruits. Don't doubt its possibilities because of the simplicity of its method. If you can't find the truth right where you are here at Vision, a Center for Spiritual Living in Mission Valley, where else do you think you will find it? I added that bit in. Life is short, and no one knows what the next moment will bring. Cultivate your mind while you still have the opportunity. That's sort of a vague threat there. You will soon discover the treasure of wisdom, which in turn you can share abundantly with others, bringing them happiness and peace. So that's the Zen Japanese master Dogen from a little book called The Enlightened Mind, a beautiful anthology by Stephen Mitchell, if you want to pick that up sometime. So let's begin. I'm going to sit down and we can start to move into the second segment of our three-part session. And that is a kind of body scan, a kind of way of reducing some of the stress that we carry with us in our bodies. You know, stress isn't just an idea. It's housed everywhere. So we're going to take a few minutes and just move through the various muscle groups, and I'll invite you to release the tension from each of them. I'm not hypnotizing anybody. There's no controlling happening here. This is a simple, clear, innocent process of moving deeper and deeper into relaxation. And when we're finished with that, I'll just transition right into the guided meditation part. So, if you're not already, sit down and scoot back all the way in your chair. You know, kind of scoot your back up against the back so that your back is fully supported. And if you're holding anything in your hands, like you're taking notes on your phone or something, or writing, go ahead and set that aside for now. Put it next to you, under you, so that your hands are free. And just let your hands fall on your lap any old way. If you have your legs crossed or your feet crossed, I would suggest uncrossing them and just putting them up flat on the ground. Think of two parallel lines from shoulder to hip to knee to foot down both sides. This isn't a requirement, but this pose is more conducive to staying alert while we close our eyes and go into the meditation. One of the challenges, as many of us know, in meditation is falling asleep because we're also sleep deprived. So this pose will actually help with that because we want to kind of be relaxed, but we want to be alert. So I invite you to take a nice, big, deep breath in while you close your eyes and exhale. And breathe in and out. One more deep inhale and let it all the way out. And allow your breathing to resume its natural rhythm. And again, I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already, but if you prefer to leave them open, of course you may. The reason we close our eyes is to begin to pull back from the realm of sensation and closing off the visual perception is a powerful signal to our conscience and our consciousness that we are preparing to retreat for a little while into a contemplative, quiet place. So as you feel your breathing begin to slow down a little bit, let's begin to practice a simple body scan where we can release the tension and tiredness from various muscle groups. And let's start way up at the top. So I invite you to bring your attention now to the muscles around your eyes, your eyelids, the muscles that move your eyes around, all of the muscles of the upper face. Bring your attention there. Just notice how they feel. Are they tired? Are they tense? Just pay attention. Bring your attention to the muscles around your eyes. And now I invite you to simply release all of the tension and tiredness around your eyes. Let it drain away like water draining into sand. Feel all of the tiredness and tension around your eyes simply draining away. Leaving the cells and the muscles around your eyes open, relaxed, and peaceful. And now I invite you to move your attention a little lower into the muscles around your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your jaw. These wonderful, skillful muscles that form speech, that laugh, that eat, that drink water, that smile, that kiss, that clench our jaw in anger in traffic. That's a lot of work today these muscles did. Give them some time off. Notice their tension and tiredness and simply open the valve and let all that tiredness and tension drain away out of these muscles like water into sand. Now notice how relaxed your face feels, how easy it was to let go, and how unnecessary it was to carry that tension in your beautiful face. Now I invite you to move your attention lower still into your neck and shoulders. These powerful muscle groups of the neck that hold up this heavy head and swing it around all day. These powerful muscle groups of our shoulders directing our arms. And it seems to me that these muscles in particular, the neck and shoulders, is where we store a lot of our emotional turmoil, our grief, our rage, our sorrow, our guilt, our worry about the future, our regrets about the past. We hold it there. So this is a bigger job than the face, but let's do it anyway. Let's open up and release all of the tension and the tiredness and the emotional storage in our neck and shoulders. With each exhalation, release more and more. Feel your neck and shoulders softening, opening, releasing. And now, from the shoulders, I invite you to simply move your attention down both of your arms, through the biceps, over the elbows, through the forearms, through the wrists, and into the hands. Bring your mind's eye into the palm of both of your hands. And just leave your hands motionless there on your lap. And as you bring your attention to the palms of your hands, what do you feel? Do you feel warmth? Do you feel a subtle thrum? Almost a vibrational energy field. Nothing magical or fancy, just aliveness. And now do you notice that that field of aliveness in your hands extends beyond the skin? That there is a field of aliveness around your hands. It's very subtle. And this field of aliveness, another word for it might be consciousness. It's the same energy that plants have when they turn their leaves toward the sun. They respond to their environment. It's a kind of consciousness. And as we feel and experience for ourselves that field of aliveness in our hands, we receive unimpeachable evidence, empirical evidence, experiential evidence, that consciousness is not simply housed in the brain. Consciousness is another word for the aliveness of our entire mind-body system, which is really clusters of systems nested within systems, in constant communication with themselves and with all of the other billions of cells in our body. All of this carrying on without our intention or attention, and certainly without our volition, willfulness, or control. I do not beat my own heart. I do not regulate my internal temperature or the way my body is processing food. I am a witness of these processes and a beneficiary, a receiver of these gifts. Now let's finish releasing all of the rest of the tension in our body. Bring our attention into our chest and move it down through our torso, and let go of all the busyness of today, the to-do lists, especially those items on the bottom we didn't get to. Let them all go. They'll wait. They'll be there tomorrow. Simply release all of the tension of the day. Feel it draining out of your body, moving through your legs, across your knees. Let it flow through your calves, through your ankles, and feel it leaving your body through the soles of your feet. Visualize all of the grief and the anger and the sorrow and the regret and the fear and the anxiety and all of the physical tension. Feel it pouring out of the bottoms of the soles of your feet. Let the earth receive it. Let our mother, Shakti, Gaia, Mahadevi, Mary, the great mother goddess that birthed all the forms of God, that birthed all the forms of earth. She is our home, our pillar, our womb and our heart. And she is ready to receive everything that we release so that we can move forward freer, emptier, and more open. Continue to breathe deeply. And one last pose adjustment before we begin our meditation. Sometimes when we sit like this, because the head is so heavy, we tend to slump forward or slump back or to the right or left. What I would suggest is gently lift the crown of your head, the very top of your skull. Gently move it toward the ceiling. No strain, don't stretch, but just a tiny adjustment of lifting the top of the head slightly toward the ceiling so that the vertebrae separate in our spine, so that the spine elongates ever so slightly. And holding this pose, sitting up straight, head lifted slightly. The goal is a position of great relaxation and alertness. That is the paradoxical pose that will help us do what we are about to do. So let's move now into a time of meditation. Some of you are saying, finally. So I invite you to bring now finally your attention to your mind, to your thought stream. Perhaps thought fire hose would be a better image. And in the next few minutes, we're going to be preparing to go into a time of silence. And when we go into that silence, your mind will continue to fire thoughts, emotions, memories, desires, physical sensations. The first suggestion I would make would be not to resist that. It is the mind's nature to generate content. Simply allow the mind to generate content. Don't resist it. Don't try to stop it. And also don't attach yourself to any of those thoughts. Simply witness them going by, like with the same disinterest that you would witness clouds blowing across the sky. When a cloud appears on the horizon, you don't have an opinion about it. You don't try to stop it, nor do you cling to it. You simply witness it. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna calls this shifting into the inner witness, and that is what we're going to practice doing today. But before we do, another suggestion. You're going to hear noises in the room. You hear the ventilation system. You might hear traffic going by on the road. You might hear someone's phone going off. You might hear someone sneeze or snoring, falling asleep. Use those sounds to bring you back to this present moment. Instead of feeling resentment because something is interrupting your meditation, play with this. Play with this possibility, that is all part of Buddha's orchestra, the thrum of life, the beautiful sounds of this priceless world we have been blessed to inhabit for these few short years. When you hear a sound, use it to bring you back to your body, back to this present moment, and let go of all judgments. So as we prepare now to go into a time of silence, another final suggestion would be, and this is how they do it in Zen Buddhism, use your breath as a way of staying present in this moment. Because when I stop talking here in a moment, your thoughts will take over for my voice. They will call for you incessantly. And out of sheer habit, we will get hooked into them. I promise you, 3 minutes into the silence, I'll be working on my Costco shopping list. And I'm running the meditation. And I'll laugh to myself, and I'll silently come back. I'll let that shopping list wait. And I'll come back to this moment. No stress, no strain, no effort, no clenching, no resisting. Allow it to be easy. Simply keep pulling yourself back to this present moment and practice being the witness of those thoughts. And when you have shifted into the witness of your own thoughts, and you can watch them come and go, you have made the single most important shift in any meditation practice. You have slipped into the boundlessness beyond name, beyond form, beyond concepts. What Dogen in our reading tonight called the true self, the original self. But I would hesitate to call it anything at all, because once you name it, it becomes a concept. Instead, as we begin now to move into a time of silence, simply allow the experience of being the inner witness and the boundlessness of that experience be the quality as we now move into this time of silence. invite you now to open your eyes. And go ahead and stretch and move in any old way you want to. Thank you for that. I appreciate your contributing to that subtle amplification that happens when we meditate together. It never fails. That it's qualitatively different than meditating alone. And I'm not going to make some pseudo-scientific argument about why that is, how our mirror neurons are communicating with each other. I don't know anything about that. It just experientially feels extremely different. You know, Dogen in the reading we did tonight talked about one of the fruits of a consistent meditation practice is that the mind and the body will become one. And I would say that that doesn't go far enough. That not only do we begin to not conceptually know, but experientially become aware that whatever I mean by the word I, whatever you mean by the word you, whatever this is, the boundaries between it and everything else become diaphanous, become porous. To put it plainly, you begin to forget yourself, finally. And what a relief that is. I mean, it's so hard being Peter Bolland, I can't tell you. It feels good to put it down for a few minutes and then pick it right back up and get on with the song, you know. But there is just such a release in surrendering into that kind of depth, that kind of, you know, and as soon as I start to describe it, there it goes running away from us. There's really nothing to be said. But rather than just ringing the gong and all of us sort of stumbling back out to our cars, I thought I'd say a few words about it at least. So I want to just ask you a quick question and then we'll start to wrap up and close here. I'm committing to the full Moon Sangha back up and running. I don't know what's going to happen with COVID. Are we all going to be back home again? Who knows? Next month, am I going to be here alone with John live streaming to you all? I don't know. But as we've all been doing these last 16 months, let's just keep adapting to what the universe keeps throwing our way and muddling through somehow. And we'll get it done one way or the other. But as you calendar professionals know, John pointed this out to me because I'm not a calendar professional. The first Monday of September is a holiday. It's a 3-day weekend. And we were both wondering, should we like bump it to the following Monday? Do y'all want to be eating corn on the cob and drinking Budweiser with your relatives in the backyard? Or would you be okay coming in here? I'm not going to take a poll, but indicate with your eyes if you would be willing to be here either on the live stream at home or in this room. Is it Memorial Day? Yeah. Labor. I get it. You and I have been in education our whole lives. I still can't keep them straight. One of them is the beginning of summer, one of them is the end of summer. So the end of summer 3-day weekend is coming up. So Labor Day, yeah. Well, Okay, I am going to take a poll. This suspense is killing me. By a show of hands, how many of you would be unable to come? Unable to come because of that holiday? Yeah, okay. Not enough of you. We're going to go on without you. But we love you. But you can sneak away with your iPhone at the family party, go into the bathroom for an hour and meditate with us. Yeah. You drink whatever you want. It does not have to be Budweiser. They do make an alcohol-free beer that I just discovered, though. I don't drink alcohol, and I haven't tasted beer in like years, but I had a craving the other day, so I bought a 12-pack of Budweiser alcohol-free beer, and it's really good. I'm going to start drinking it here at the Full Moon Sangha, because that's what Buddha would know. I don't know. So listen, I appreciate your help with the future scheduling. That's just how that kind of worked out. So we'll go ahead and stay on the holiday, and you can engage from home. I just want to make doubly sure everybody here knows that we are live streaming right now. You didn't have to come here tonight, but I appreciate that you did. And I've been hearing from people from Canada, from India, that are with us tonight, or this morning, or whatever the heck the earth is doing where they live. And this session will live on YouTube for a while also. So that you have that link in the email that you received, or however you found us here tonight. So we've got options going forward. I'm going to be in the room, obviously, and many of you will be as well, because we really enjoy that experience. But some of you are immune compromised and just don't want to be in a room with people yet, or aren't vaccinated, or live far away and can't get here. So we're so happy, and it's thanks to John Kirko, and thanks to Vision to Center for Spiritual Living for really providing all of that support and enabling us to have a multi-camera live shoot in here and to live stream this session. So to all of you on the live stream, thank you for taking a chance on us. And thank you to all of you for parting with your time and your treasure and supporting us in all the ways that you do. And all of you at home as well have an opportunity to contribute. We're not charging money, we're not registering, but we want to open the opportunity for you who feel moved to support what we're doing here, and to get that level of kind of engagement and buy-in with what we're doing. We just really, really appreciate that. So I thought I would close with a non-denominational, every religion in the world prayer. And if you don't want to pray, you can just sit there and think about online poker or anything else that excites you, fishing. But I'm just going to stand here and kind of wing together all religions are true, or none of the above, if that's your preference. But it just feels like I want to leave that kind of music in the room as we head out the door. So, Mother, Father, gods and goddesses, sacred nameless presence within all things, the holy space that we find inside of our silence. We see you in the beauty of the world. We feel you in each other's hands. We hear you in the holiness of music, and in the wind through eucalyptus trees, and in the raven's wings, and in the weeping of those who grieve. We taste you in the summer fruit. We feel you on our skin as the sun. But wherever we turn and whatever we hear and taste and smell, we know you most intimately in the sacred, holy boundlessness beneath the waves of our thought stream. And we know that when we take the time to step out of our busyness, come into Sangha or all by ourselves, and leave room for silence and being, it always shows itself is heard and rises up through the cracks of the woundedness of our busy, difficult, beautiful, magnificent lives. And we are filled now with so much gratitude, we don't know what to do with it. It bursts out of our faces as smiles. And we carry with us now a stillness into every difficult moment we're going to meet the rest of this month until we get to gather together again here in Sangha. That every time you get stuck in traffic or that difficult Zoom call when your Wi-Fi isn't working, or that conflict you have with your family, or economic challenges, or health challenges that we're all living with. When you encounter those, and you will over and over, you know now from our experience tonight that you carry within you a borderless ocean of interbeing, that you are always inseparably one with all that is holy and all that is real and all that lives and breathes and swims and flies and shines and shadows. That we are that. And that when we leave it nameless and allow it to show itself to us on its terms, we recognize ourselves in that depth, and we come to know ourselves inseparably as an expression of that boundlessness. This is what meditation reveals. And so I thank all of the holiness for its eternal, limitless outpouring, and the way that it shows up in these kind brothers and sisters in this Sangha with us. Amen. And namaste. See you all at the next Full Moon Sangha. Good night, everybody.
When you guys like the Sunday services, do people get like dressed up, or you're just like, oh okay, oh I like that. That's even cool too. He's amazing.
You should come sometime.
I would like to do that. Awesome. So nice to